Welcome, racing fans, to Motorsports Radio, and this is MR5, the Weekend Edition, and everybody knows what happened last weekend, but we're going to get right into what's coming up this upcoming weekend. We have the driver standings, the racing schedule, going to go over the chase, and all that good stuff, and here we go. Just to recap, Kyle Busch wins Friday's Xfinity Series event and Saturday's NASCAR Sprint Cup Series event, won by Denny Hamlin, and of course, that would be the last race of the regular season. And now, ladies and gentlemen, NASCAR fans, we now embark on the next lap of the 2016 season, and that's going to be the chase. And the chase for the Sprint Cup begins on Sunday with the round of 16, 3 races on tap, then 3 races for the round of 12, 3 for the round of 8, and then the 4 remaining chases will move on to the Championship 4, and those 4 racers will be racing in Miami in November, and one of the 4, will be the 2016 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion. Now, I don't know who is going to be 2016 champion. I did pick Martin Truex Jr. last year, and if those who were listening last year probably know. I think Truex Jr. has a better chance this year. Now, I picked the 4 probables who will go to be in the Championship 4, and I'm going with Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, and Martin Truex Jr., and one of those 4 is going to be the 2016 champion. Now, if you look at the driver standings, the top 16 are the chasers, and everyone else are the non-chasers. So, here we go. Let's go to the grid. And here it is. Kyle Busch, okay, in the 18 car. He's with 2,012 points. Bart Keselowski in the number 2 spot on the grid. He's also with 2,012 points. Denny Hamlin in 3rd with 2,009. Now, from 4th to 8th, from the 4th place all the way down to the 8th place driver, all have 2,006 points. 4th is going to be Kevin Harvick driving the number 4. Carl Edwards in 5th. Martin Truex Jr. sits in 6th place. 7th place is going to be Matt Kenseth, and 8th place is Jimmy Johnson. From 9th place down to 13th, these drivers all have 2,003 points. So it's Joey Logano in 9th, Kyle Larson in 10th, Tony Smoke Stewart sits in 11th place, Kurt Busch in 12th, and in 13th it's Chris Buescher. And then we have 14th, 15th, and 16th, all of which have 2,000 points. And that's going to be Chase Elliott in 14th, Austin Dillon in 15th place, and in 16th place, right on the edge, but he got in there, it's Jamie McMurray driving the number 1 car. And now for the non-chases, just from 17th down to 25th, it's Ryan Newman, Casey Kane, Trevor Bayne, AJ Allmendinger, Ryan Blaney, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Greg Biffle, Danica Patrick, and in 25th place, it's Paul Menard. Taking a quick look at the Xfinity Series, driver standings top 10, Elliott Sadler sits in 1st place. 2nd place is Daniel Suarez, Justin Allgaier in 3rd, Ty Dillon in 4th place, Brendan Gowen in 5th, Eric Jones in 6th place. 7th place is Brendan Poole driving the 48 car. Brandon Jones driving the 33 is in 8th place. Darrell Wallace Jr. in 9th, and in 10th place it's Ryan Reed. From 11th through 15th place in order, it's Blake Koch driving the 11 car. 12th place is Ryan Siege, Dakota Armstrong, Jeremy Clemens, and sitting in 15th place, it's Ross Chastain. From 16th place to 20th place, it's going to be J.J. Yeley, Ryan Preece, Garrett Smith, Lee Ray Black Jr., and B.J. McLeod. 21st to 25th place, it's Joey Gase, Jeb Burton, Justin Marks, David Starr, and Mario Jocelyn. All right, now let's see what else we got here. Let's take a look at the trucks. Let's take a look at the trucks here. Again, the trucks didn't race last weekend, but they'll be racing this weekend as they wrap up their regular season. Xfinity Series wraps up its regular season as well. All 3 series are heading to Chicagoland this weekend, and it all starts tomorrow night with some Friday night truck racing. But William Byron still in 1st place with the number 9 truck, 402 points. Daniel Hemrick sits in 2nd place. Johnny Sauter in the 3rd, driving the 21 truck. Driver the 88, Matt Crafton, sits in 4th place. 5th place, it's Timothy Peters in the 17 truck. He's with 350 points. Ben Kennedy sits in 6th place, driving the 33. Christopher Bell in 7th. John Hunter Nemechek in 8th place with the number 8 truck. And his new rival, I guess you could say that, Cole Custer, the 00, sits in 9th place with 318 points. Cameron Haley sits in 10th place with 312. From 11th to 15th place in order, it's Tyler Reddick, Ben Rhodes, Spencer Gallagher, Rico Abreu, and Austin Wayne Self. 16th through 20th place, Tyler Young, John West Townley, Travis Voppel, Jordan Anderson, and Ryan Truex. And then from 21st through 25th, it's Parker Kilgerman, Brandon Brown, Brett Moffitt, Tommy Joe Martins, and Grant Enfinger. Formula One and IndyCar returns this weekend. IndyCar wraps up its 2016 season on Sunday at Sonoma. Formula One has 7 races remaining, and that includes this weekend for the Singapore Grand Prix. So in today's show, it's going to be racing news and the racing schedule, and some big racing news we're going to talk about right now. We usually do the history of the numbers, but the number 11 won last week, and we did the number 11 already, so we're going to skip that this week. But now for Motorsports Radio's racing news, starting with the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Driver Matt Tifft, who on July 1st underwent brain surgery, if you remember, to have a tumor removed. Fortunately, it was benign, but on Monday, NASCAR has given Matt Tifft the all clear and can now return to racing. Tifft could be racing on Friday. I'm not sure, but he could be. They haven't really set it in stone, but he could come back on Friday if he wanted to at Chicagoland, driving the number 11 Red Horse Racing Toyota. Source, Motorsports Radio, motorsports.com. So we mentioned the TV, jumping over to the Sprint Cup Series, we mentioned the TV interview with Ryan Blaney on Monday. We went over race notes. And, Ryan Blaney came out, they interviewed Ryan Blaney because kind of got intentionally, looked like he got intentionally wrecked by the 14 car. And Ryan Blaney says that Tony Stewart was bipolar. But there was another interview with Matt on Sunday, and that was with Matt Kenseth. And if you remember, we talked about Brad Keselowski missing a shift, getting into Matt Kenseth, cut his tire, and a little while later, Kenseth into the wall. But first, so that's the scenario, and it was a late race caution, restart at lap 336 with 64 to go. And but it looked like Matt Kenseth was coming down, but they'd come around the turn, so right. So when they come around that turn, they all calm down a little bit, right? And I guess because Keselowski missed the shift, he was trying to get back to the spot and just went right into the outside there and clipped Kenseth's car. So in turn, Kenseth gets into the outside wall. So the number 2 misses a shift. Now, what happened is he misses a shift and then he gets bumped in the rear by the 18 car, of course, which is Kyle Busch, and the 2 was just snailing. But then the 2 just towards the outside, Kenseth drifting to the inside a little bit, and going into turn 1, the 2 and the 20 contact, causing that tire cut, and a little bit after the 20 side bumps the wall. Well, the TV interview afterward went like this. So afterwards, NBC interviews Matt Kenseth, and Kenseth said the following, referring to Brad Keselowski, quote, "I'm sure he'll send a tweet out or go on a TV show and explain how it wasn't his fault." He continues saying, but he knows better than that, and he knows his angle was bad, and he just drove away up in the corner because he made a mistake and was trying to make up for it, and, wait for it, had no respect for anybody on the outside lane. Unfortunately, we had a wrecked car because of it. Now, there was an incident at Charlotte in 2014 where Matt Kenseth goes and tackles Keselowski after the race. Now, little stuff like this, there's a lot of little things why the other drivers got beef with Brad Keselowski. This just adds to him. And of course, that big wreck where he wrecked Jimmy Johnson, and I forget what year that was, and Jimmy Johnson wound up wrecking, Keselowski wound up winning the race, and that was a crazy wreck. I believe it was a Talladega, but I'm not, okay. So there's a lot of little things that he does that kind of ticks off the other drivers. Now, I don't know what the deal is with Joe Logano. I kind of think it's just guilty by association because it's Team Penske. I haven't really, maybe once in a while Logano might do a little something crazy, but nothing crazy like, Keselowski really has the torch for doing some little, stuff to tick the other drivers off. Well, they also interviewed Brad Keselowski, and he did apologize, saying on TV, quote, "This was after the race. I can understand why he's upset. He deserves to be upset. I made a mistake, and it was kind of crazy for everyone. Hopefully he'll accept the apology. Now, there was that incident where he made a Truex Jr. turn at Watkins Glen on that last turn, if you remember that. That's when Truex Jr. gave him a one-finger salute after the race. Keselowski then left a case of beer on Truex Jr.'s private plane. And I kind of wondered if it was a Miller Lite, since he's driving the Miller Lite car. So I don't know. You have to come with some Yinglings or something. But anyway, it's always kind of interesting to see that, the stuff that goes on in between the drivers. There's a lot to it than what we're seeing out there on the track. There's a lot of stuff that's surrounding the whole event, the little dramas that makes it interesting to follow. So, there is some tension between Matt Kenseth and Brad Keselowski, and between Matt Kenseth and Joey Logano. So, it should be interesting as we go through the next 10 weeks. 10 racing fans, 10. So, some other stuff to talk to you about. New crew chief for the 43. Richard Petty Motorsports Ford 43 team this announced on Tuesday. New boss for the 43. Drew Bleckensderfer is replacing Trent Owens. Bleckensderfer will take over this upcoming weekend at Chicagoland and was formerly Director of Research and Development with Richard Petty Motorsports, and has 9 years under the belt with the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, including working with Matt Kenseth, who went to win the 2009 Daytona 500. And here's a little fun stuff here. Heroes in a Half Show. Alright, here we go. So the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles will be making an appearance this weekend. Several drivers, including Danica Patrick, Reagan Smith, Landon Castle, Michael McDowell, and NASCAR Xfinity Series drivers Daniel Suarez and Darrell Wallace Jr. will be sporting Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle paint schemes on their cars this weekend. Daniel Suarez will be driving the number 19 Michelangelo Toyota Camry, and Darrell Wallace Jr. will be driving the number 6 Shredder Ford Mustang in Saturday's NASCAR Xfinity Series race. As for the Sprint Cup Series drivers, Reagan Smith will be driving the number 7 Raphael Chevrolet, Tommy Baldwin Racing, and Michael McDowell will be driving the Donatello Chevrolet. Michael McDowell driving the 95 car. So there you go. Make things interesting. Alright, so, as we always do, it's the penalty update. Yes. Motorsports Radio penalty update, starting with the 78 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series team. Martin Truex Jr., the 78 team, receives a P2 penalty for failing, you guessed it, post-race laser inspection. After Saturday night's race at Richmond, the 78 crew chief Cole Perrin has been fined $15,000, and the 78 team was docked 10 championship owner points and 10 championship driver points. The points were deducted prior to the chase point reset. The number 17 driver Reagan Smith, the number 17 has been issued a written warning for failing pre-qualifying laser inspection. 3 times, the number 17 loses 15 minutes of practice time at Chicago. 4 other cars received written warnings, including the 78, also the 18, 16, and the 22 for failing pre-qualifying laser inspection. Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, Greg Biffle, and the 22 of Joey Logano. And here is some even more big news regarding the chase. NASCAR announced new rules update for the chase. This applies for all 3 NASCAR Series chases. Now competition officials will have the power to strip racing teams of, quote, the benefits associated with a chase victory, end quote. Source, NASCAR.com. This includes advancements to the next round of the chase and any tiebreaker scenarios. Now, the 2 big ones that the officials will be honing in on are post-race laser inspection and lug nuts. Before, a lug nut violation would have resulted in a 1-race suspension and fine for crew chiefs and driver